Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ward's 10 Best Engines of 2018. Before we get things underway, I'd like to recognize the WardsAuto judges who participated in the 10 Best Engines program this year. And if the judges could please stand up. Dave Zoya, Tom Murphy, Steve Finley, Christy Schweinsberg, James Amon, Jim Irwin, Bob Gritzinger, and me. So make sure you take some time to meet our judges while you're here today. We'd all love to chat with you. And I'd also like to introduce to you our top management. Larry Schlagek, Managing Director of News and Events. Managing Director of the News and Events side of WardsAuto. Larry. And John Suzanis, Managing Director for Wards Intelligence, the side of Wards that offers forecasting, insight, reports, and consulting. If you'd like to learn more about what WardsAuto or Wards Intelligence can do for you, Larry and John would be happy to talk to you. Okay, let's get to the main reason we're all here. The Ward's 10 Best Engines of 2018. Before we hand out our first award, we'd like to tell you a bit about the process. To give you the overview, here's my friend and colleague, Ward's Managing Editor, Tom Murphy.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the 24th Annual Ward's 10 Best Engines celebration. I have just a few minutes to share some thoughts, and I'll start by covering the basics of how it is that we select the winners for those of you who are new to the process. We only included engines and electric propulsion systems in the North American market that are completely new or significantly improved in vehicles with a base price below $63,000. Next year's price cap will probably be $64,000. This year that field was 32 light vehicles, 7 of last year's winners up against the all-new entries. 3 of last year's winners weren't available for testing this year, and that was the Mercedes 2-liter Turbo 4, the Volvo Polestar 2-liter Turbo 4, and also the Honda Accord Hybrid, which is being replaced. So hopefully we'll get to test that new Honda Accord Hybrid in the fall. We're based here in Metro Detroit, so we schedule the vehicles for October and November. We drive them on public roads as intended, taking kids to school, getting to and from the office, going to the grocery store, taking weekend road trips. And along the way, we are paying attention to the technology on board, any vibrations or odd noises. We record observed fuel economy, and we generally obey speed limits, and did not get any speeding tickets this year. Something that stood out this year was the advancement of stop-start systems. They are so much smoother and less obtrusive than we have seen in the past. And we fill out detailed score sheets, and we write down lots of comments. We tabulate those scores, and that's where the final judging process begins and where all of the debates and arguments also begin. We don't have awards based on segments, but we do cluster vehicles and powertrains that are similar, and we judge them against each other. For instance, this year's 3-liter Infiniti and 3.3-liter Kia V6s were very closely aligned, both high-output twin turbos, and they both made the list. Meanwhile, the Honda Clarity didn't have any other fuel cell competition this year, but we did judge it against other battery electric powertrains in terms of drivability, NVH, and range. And in the end, we want the final list to include a wide array of powertrains and vehicle segments and price points. A great engine should not break the bank. Today we're here to celebrate the here and the now, but everyone in this room is thinking about tomorrow. You're working years into the future on the next generation engines and propulsion systems that hopefully will be even better than this year's award winners. In the meantime, we, the editors at WardsAuto, plan to keep reporting on these powertrain trends. Next week, I'm going to Irvine, California to drive Mazda's new Skyactiv X engine, which is claimed to be the world's first commercially available compression ignition gasoline engine, going on sale later this year. We're also planning to drive Infinity's new 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder with variable compression, as well as the V8s in GM's new pickup trucks, which take cylinder deactivation to a new level, as we have found out this week here at the show. And hopefully all of those will be among the nominees we test in the fall for the 2019 Wards 10 Best Engines. Finally, I'd like to extend an invitation to you as powertrain engineers, as well as to automakers not in the room today, to come talk with us at WardsAuto or invite us to talk about your next generation powertrain programs, drive them when they're ready to be driven. This year and in past years, we've met with a number of automakers to talk in detail specifically about the engines and propulsion systems that we tested this year. The engineers present the product, share some of the challenges and reasons that certain paths were taken in the product development process, and then the editors ask questions. The conversations are always very enlightening for us. We appreciate the meetings that we had this year with Dan Nicholson and his team at GM, with John Jariga and his team at Hyundai, and with Masashi Hakariya and the rest of the Toyota powertrain team that worked on the Camry and also the Camry Hybrid. And we appreciate the steady flow of information via email with a number of other automakers as well. The bottom line, we understand not all media needs such detailed information, but for WardsAuto, these meetings are an important piece in our selection process. This is how we stay abreast of the latest technologies, especially the production-ready ones that we need to evaluate in the next round of 10 Best Engines testing. But today, we are celebrating our 2018 Wards 10 Best Engines, so let's get on with the awards.